Welcome back to the Comic Book ASM Artist. Today we're doing another comic book haul video, and this video features a few other great collectibles as well, and I even acquired a GRAIL signature. So without further ado, let's get started. First off, we have Deceased Dead Planet number 3. So, I'm sure you all know the rundown of Deceased by now. Pretty much the DC universe with a different twist on the whole zombie infestation thing. These zombies are made with the anti-life equation as opposed to your typical living dead formula. And we've seen many a great hero get taken down who've caught it, and you can see here the imagery here. Some very horrifying, gruesome creatures have resulted from all of this, as well as a lot of sacrifice and just shocking moments throughout all of the Deceased books. I believe this is either the third or the fourth spin-off from the original miniseries. And everyone seems to continue to be enjoying it, me included. And I'll keep getting them as long as they keep making them. So they always put out a few variant covers for this, so this is what I would consider the main variant cover for the line. And then this is the V for Vendetta movie poster inspired line here. And of course on that cardstock cover, as you can hear, a few tracing elements there as well. Big circle there and the D for Deceased. So, yeah, very cool. And next we have, this is Batgirl number 48. This is a Joker War tie-in. And as we can see here, it looks like Barbara's brother is back, who has had quite a few confrontations with her in the past here. And I'm really liking Robbie Rodriguez's art on this series. I don't know how much he's done for the ongoing Batgirl recently, but I do welcome it. Very stylized, very interesting to look at. It has like a very ink brush feel to it. I think it's achieved digitally as opposed to with physical ink and stuff. But as I've noted a few times, it kind of has a bit of a Murphy feel to it. A little bit. I know no two artists like to be compared, but that's always the first thing I see when I think of it. Next we have another Joker War tie-in, Red Hood and the Outlaws, number 48. And we see this one is one that features Punchline on here. And I read the previous issue here, so Dick Grayson has had his mind twisted for quite a while here. And so now he's been set up to be in on a joke with the Joker where the other squad is led to believe that Barbara is in fact the danger and not Nightwing. So they're all teaming up to stop Batgirl as opposed to Nightwing, who's the one who's actually been compromised through all this. And now that I'm recounting it, that's actually happened in a Nightwing book. That's not in the Red Hood one, so this is the first crossover story from that, but I have a feeling that this will still reference that because that's kind of the setup for all this. Of the dynamic coloring there, the red popped on the grays. Very nicely done. And we have Detective Comics 1027 coming out, celebrating 1,000 issues of having Batman appear in them. So that's coming out soon. It's a $10 book, so check that out. Pre-order it if you haven't already. And yeah, this whole dynamic coloring, I think that's a little bit of the reference to the Killing Joke remastered coloring that Brian Bolland had done. At least that's what I'm getting from it when I see it. So yeah, I don't read a lot of Red Hood. I'm liking the art in this here. We see the art is Brett Booth. Yeah, I think he's been doing the book for maybe the whole thing, both him and Scott Lobdell, I believe. I think he was even doing Nightwing at one point, but I think he's been on Red Hood, maybe even since New 52 time. Alright, next we have the Teen Titan #2 annual. You see here, I was Robin. Some nice tracing elements. In the world of Damian Wayne, he has always struggled in shades of gray, raised by the League of Assassins without the presence of Bruce in his life. He was taught that murdering was acceptable, a means to an end. And, you know, even whenever he initially met Bruce, he tried to kill him. I think technically maybe he met Dick Grayson prior to Bruce. I'm trying to remember. I know that even for both of them, though, he was involved in that, where he was definitely trying to kill both of them. But, you know, Batman taught him there was a better way. And recently in Teen Titans, he reverted to that solution of killing. He killed one of their villains at the time, and the team went back to discover that it was him. And even Batman found out as well. So the previous issue, like the ongoing Teen Titans, ended with Batman saying the Titans are done. So I doubt he will disband or has the power to disband a group that he really didn't form. But it's definitely going to impact them in a way that's meaningful, I feel, for sure. And hopefully, you know, Damon will see the light and understand there's a better way than killing again. So, because I really like that redemptive arc that he had, and now it looks like they're going to be going up against old Slade here. So I'll break off a little bit from my books here and show some of my other items. Let's see. So sure, first here, let me show my Fandome shirt. I mentioned that I had ordered this during the event. A lot of the shirts were pretty much looked like they had thrown a comic cover and then slapped like Fandome above it or beside it and stuff. I didn't care for those t-shirts, so I was able to get just kind of a less flashy shirt. This is literally just the Fandome logo with the DC here, global experience, very minimal. And we see the Jim Lee drawing of Batman in here. And they had ones like this for Superman, Aquaman, Flash. I'm trying to remember if they had a Wonder Woman one or not. I believe they did. Green Lantern. Pretty much all the Justice League, I think, had one. And they all had corresponding colors, too. And I would have loved to get most of them, honestly. But, of course I had to go with Batman being my favorite DC character. So, at the end of the day, this was around $30 after shipping. And whenever they release the second round of Fandome, they might bring him back out. And you might still be able to find these shirts on the DC Fandome website. I'm not sure. So, but we see here some cool elements there. Try not to rub the logo too hard. And then I don't know if you notice, there's like little bursts too on the ends. Let's see here, what's another cool item? Here we go. I just got the Avengers game for the PS4. And I was back and forth on pre-ordering it. A few locations had different perks and stuff. A lot of them just seemed like cosmetic DLC sort of things. And when I was in Walmart, it actually had a decal that said there are patches in here. And what I read that to be were like digital logos, like, character select sort of icons you could use on your characters in the game. But what I didn't know was they meant literal patches. I think you can iron them on. They kind of the texture there. I'm not really sure. I haven't really applied patches on anything myself. So, but pretty nice, all things considering. Like even having like the raised stitching and stuff, a lot better than I was expecting. As I said, I wasn't even expecting anything really. But it's just going to be more DLC. And this was actually cheaper than it's going for on a lot of other stores. This was $50 for the regular version with the patches in it. So, really cool. And the game did take a while to load onto my system, but hopefully I'll be able to do some gameplay videos for you all with it. But I will have to warn, spoilers will be abound. I will try to do the campaign while recording, I believe. So we'll see how that goes. And then yeah, even the little bag, see it says Avengers and it shows all the systems it's for. So this is a Walmart exclusive. So, and then there's the basic game here. And then there's a little inside you can flip around. It's like, just shows all the characters. Little icons there, so pretty cool. I heard that there was actually a steelbook version that Mark Brooks had done. I think it was for a Best Buy pre-order. And actually, if you go on his Instagram, he's having a contest where 200 people will win a signed steelbook. So check that out if you haven't. I think he's doing the drawing in a few days. All you have to do is sign up for his mailing list, and you'll be entered to win. So, but you know, having 200 copies to give away, that's pretty good odds, I would say. And then I love that even the box is, you know, a nice sturdy box outside of the normal case. So we'll see how this game is together. Can't wait to do that. Alright, we can hop back into it here. So let's see what this one is. We have Batman Superman, number 11. They're fighting the Ultra Humanite. He's kind of like a riff off of a Gorilla Grodd, I would say. I think the premise is kind of like a scientist who put his mind in this gorilla, or whatever you would like to call him. You can see his brain there. But I believe that was the way he was made. And this is the conclusion for this story. So if you weren't into this story, issue 12 will be a brand new story arc. And I guess that's something I can raise more awareness with on the show too, is to say, hey, this is when a issue break is coming for new people to jump on. This is a fun little double page spread here, seeing Superman slamming into the ground here. So we see here, it looks like Bruce has been irradiated and is being used against Superman here. Did I say Superman? This is totally Batman. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with this. Let's see what we have next. And this is beautifully rendered as usual. Detective Comics 1026. Nice Killer Croc variant cover. I did hunt down that, what was it, 1024 or 25, I forget. Basically, I got the common cover in my box instead of the painted cover, and I'm definitely gonna try to purchase it. It's got, like, I think it's Batman choking Joker, and there's like fire around him. So I think the shop got shorted on that one, unfortunately, but obviously they wanted me to still read the story, so I got the common copy in my box, as opposed to the variant. These nice Bermejo variants. I saw he has a line of statues coming out from DC. I saw one for the Joker as well as for Batman. I think the Batman one was sold out though. I think it was going for maybe $350, but it looked great. Alright, next we have Batman number 98. Another nice cardstock cover. And we see a bit of mind melding and duality here with Joker and Punchline. Yeah, and they're definitely giving Riddler that Batman Forever vibe, which is weird because this story is so dark. But, obviously that was portrayed by the comedic Jim Carrey for that movie. But the visual look of him, I guess, is pretty established in that film, and they had him in different looks in the movie. So it's funny just seeing that costume that was popularized in that movie in this book, especially with one so crucial as this particular storyline. Yeah, and at this point, Batman has been drugged, so if you're wondering why is he talking to Alfred and all that type of stuff, he is, I think she actually just hit him with the antidote or something, and he's basically can't be active for a while. She's like, you're no good to me trying to fight this in a state of, like, hallucination and, like, frenzy. So she hit him with whatever she had, and she's like, oh, you'll be cleared after this, but you're not going to be able to move for a little while. I believe she said maybe 3 days or 3 hours. I don't remember. I could have sworn it was something with 3 in it, though. So I would call this issue the rematch between Punchline and Harley here. At least judging on these pages anyway. And then, of course, the cover that I already tipped my hand on. This is the David Finch normal cover, which is also pretty great, honestly. It's always hard for me when I have so many great covers to try to decide which one I'm going to use for the thumbnail, And then, too, I'm just like, well, have I shown this series of comic in a while? And it's like, some videos I feel definitely do better when I have, like, let's say a Batman cover over if I choose like a Ninja Turtles one or something. So now we have Action Comics number 1024. This is the variant cover. And yeah, based upon what I'm seeing, the creative roster is still staying with Romita Jr. and Bendis. I guess they really forged a friendship with whenever they did Kick-Ass together. Because, like, when I think of Bendis, I don't typically think of him with John Romita Jr. And then I was like, oh yeah, they did do that series together. So maybe that's when the friendship was forged. I can't think of a time prior to that they worked together. But it's weird. Like, I really liked when Romita Jr. was on Spider-Man and that, early to late 2000s period. But I felt like it was a perfect mixture of the inker they had on it as well as the colorist and everything. And I think that if Romita Jr. is not paired with those specific people, the image is unfortunately not reflected as well as it could have been. So like with this, like I feel like the ink's a little too thick, the outlines on the characters, and I've noticed that with a few DC books, even whenever like Kevin Maguire has been doing, I think he's maybe doing the Superman ongoing or something like that. So we'll break from our regular books for a minute here. Let's see, what do we want to do? I can show We went to a fun little, like, kids' clothing consignment shop, and they had a assortment of other things there as well. And they had a bag filled with all of these DC figures here. Yeah, no, this is my middle kid. He picked all of these out. They were in one bag together. I think we paid maybe $6 or so for them. And so, yeah, these are, I think they're styled after the Brave and the Bold Batman series. I didn't watch a lot of it, but I look at the Batman and it definitely looks like the Brave and the Bold Batman. You can't really see with the lighting, but it's got, yeah, it definitely looks like him, how he looked in that show, but I don't remember the other guys looking this normal. I guess, like, their facial features aren't as, distorted, I would say, as, like, the Batman one, but it's fun. You've got all these superheroes now. He doesn't have versions of these guys in any other form. And especially now, it seems like they don't make a lot of, like, these type of toys aimed for kids. Or at least not that I can ever find, anyway, that are, like, common on the shelves. Sometimes you'll find, like, the smaller ones that are about this size of them, but, like, I feel this is a good height, We barely see, like a 5-inch, 6-inch line of figures that are made for kids. It's all, the collector stuff, like I showed, like Todd McFarlane's line and stuff. Those are great, but, they're priced at $25 or so, which is not conducive to a little kid who will undoubtedly break it shortly after he has opened it. And then we think this goes with the Cyborg, but we're not sure. But yeah, they have some nice, like, little bendy plastic noises on them here. But I remember, like, the Aquaman from that show, I think he had, like, a beard and stuff, so I'm a little confused, but I don't know. I didn't really watch much of that show or anything. So. And then, of course, I love that they put a cloth cape on the actual Batman figure. No Superman on the line, though, so that's unfortunate. Alright, let's get back into our ongoing books here. Next we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, number 108. Of course, the Eastman cover. And this is, I think they're calling it like the Slither or something like that. There's something that's been taking these kids and keeping them in the sewer. And that creature on the front is believed to be the source of that. And then the Mousers have made an appearance again. That's what April was yelling at Baxter Stockman about. I think it's so interesting when an artist takes over on another artist, when they try to, like, slowly nudge them off of that artist. Like, as I said in the previous one, that issue 2 was not done by Sophie Campbell, but there was enough influence, I would say, in the line work that at an initial glance you're like, oh, she's still on this, and then nope, it's a different person. So especially see it here, the kid with the big expressive eyes. Turtles are a little bit more squared off. Sophie tends to make them round all the way, like this little guy here. So this artist has given them, a little bit more of an angular feel, but very much, I would say, that transition art style. So it's not jarring when you switch an artist. Or I'm totally wrong. Let's see here. Now it says, yeah, no, she's still working on like the actual scripting though. So they've got her down for story and script. So like maybe this is kind of like her like brainchild sort of thing. But yeah, the art is Nelson Daniel. And then these are cool. They're doing retail incentives of all the turtles, including Jenica, done by Freddie Williams II. Hopefully I can find those as a set somewhere. I apologize, we keep seeing this cover on the back of most of these books. Does anyone have a hankering to buy the Superman Man of Tomorrow movie after this? I guess it's available digitally now, and then September 8th is when it comes out physically. So we have Young Justice number 18, and this series will end at issue number 20. Which, if you read the original Young Justice, I believe that made it to issue 50 or somewhere around there. So, I know this series wouldn't last forever. I think the main thing just kind of begs the question, are they just kind of winding down with how many titles because of all the COVID stuff, or the new management choices, or all that? I'm not really sure. I have a feeling it is. Either that or Bendis just couldn't continue to commit to that many books he's writing. Quite a few series. And as you all know, he likes to have all the characters within those series interact with each other. So you'll often find them guest star. Looking here, I thought this is some Omega art. It looks like it is. Yeah, so we've got mixed duties on the art here. We have Scott Godlewski and then Michael Avon Omega. So there you go. And of course their partnership forged way back in the days of Powers, which I've never read the full series of that either. I've read pieces of it. It's definitely interesting. It's a mature book. But I would say one to certainly give a look at. And of course, this is a cover stock, card stock. Then we have Batman, The Adventures Continue, number 4. Once again, nice little cardstock cover. I feel like I know who this artist is, but I can't put my finger on it. Let's see. Let's see, so that's Ben Caldwell. I know that artist. And so we see here, looks like Azrael. Yep, he is now being introduced into the animated universe in this issue. There he is. Very cool. Yeah, I definitely love seeing, these modern characters interact in the animated series, which has been decidedly considered like kind of in a quasi dated time period, but then there's elements of the future added to it with the weaponry, technology, and stuff. And put this book there. Yeah, I guess I bought so many books that they wouldn't even fit in my little black store folio. So here's the normal cover. And the normal artist on the cover is James Heron. Don't know if I know that name. Alright, next we have Spawn number 309. We have the return of the gunslinger Spawn, I believe is his name. They're toying with a Spawn multiverse now, like they're all actually meeting and interacting now. They've had stories of different Spawns through the ages and the past, and now they are all interacting, and our Spawn actually killed another Spawn. I believe, I think it was the medieval one possibly, if I remember. But that is something that has never been done. A Spawn has never killed another Spawn in this comic universe. It was an act of self-defense. The medieval one was coming after him, if I remember correctly. And modern Spawn killed him. And so now the balance is ruined. The pack is lifted, and it's kind of like every Spawn for themselves. And we see here the medieval Spawn laid out. So, interesting concept for sure. And Todd says he'll keep making them, even though he's at 309. He's assuring us he has plenty of ideas left. And that was Todd's cover, by the way. So this one is his. You can see the signature there. And then they put out another. I guess this is the common cover. The other one was the variant, so. And that's the Francesco Mattina cover. We're getting the signature in the lower corner. It says after Frazetta. So I don't know this particular image he's referencing, maybe you all do know. If you do, comment down below. I know of Frazetta's stuff. It's definitely impressive to look at, but I haven't personally collected or bought any of it. But he's definitely a master and one who inspires. But I think he did like a lot of like more the barbarian type stuff, as well as like barbarian mixed with like sci-fi space, which isn't a genre I typically buy or look at much. So I think I've missed out quite a bit with regards to experiencing his art. So, but yeah, if you know what that image was referenced to, let me know. So this book here is actually one that landed in my box by accident, and then I just kind of went with it anyway. So this book is called Inkblot. I know nothing about it, other than the store manager said it's about this cat, and it's supposed to be humorous. So we recently got a cat, and it's something different. So I said, you know what, let's just go ahead and pick it up anyway. So I literally don't know anything about it. It looks like it's based in a fantasy element. At least that's the setup to the book. There might be some interaction that happens where it's brought over to the current day, maybe. But yeah, I'm definitely getting a very fantasy feel from this. So let me look. And there's the cat there. And so this is by Emma Kubert and Rusty Glad. And I don't even know either of those creators either, so it is a full-on mystery for me. Next we have Captain America Empire #3. Subtitle, Captain America versus the Plant People. It's been good. I've been enjoying reading it. I love Ariel Olivetti's art. I do prefer his painterly look over this pen and ink style, but the story's interesting enough that I'm not minding it as much. But I wish he would do more painted projects for sure. And yeah, we see Cap with the help of the army here, just trying to do his best to take this area back from these creatures here. That continue to keep possessing more and more U.S. troops. All right, next we have Batman, the Three Jokers. So we see here, this is the Red Hood reference here. Nice Fabok cover. You can see it's, well, this one is not raised. I think this is considered like the one out of the 3 variants. But the other ones have a raised feel to them. So those right there. And so I got, this is the standard cover B, I think. and then the cover A, the Joker cover. So, I'm sure a lot of you read it last week when it came out, but that was not during my payday, so had to wait until this week. So I am excited about this for sure. I might do a reading of this. I'm really considering it. Here's the thing though, if you watch it and you like it, please go buy the book. I don't want those creators to miss out on sales because I narrated something for you all. Because that's what stops me. But if you watch the video and you like the story, try to find some way to get it. And, you know, this is really kind of a relaxation, transformative way I present it anyway. So you're not typically, when you watch my video, experiencing it the same way as you would, you know, with it in your lap, reading it, or on your tablet or whatever. So this is an event that has been kicked around since the whole DC Rebirth thing, that everyone has been waiting for. Teased 3 Jokers. And this is art by Jason Fabok, which I love his stuff. I've watched him grow, and he has certainly gotten better and better as the years have gone on. Haven't been seeing him do a lot recently because he's been quietly working on this book. And then it's written by Jeff Jones, who has certainly done his fair share of writing incredible stories for the DC universe. So we see here, this is done in a style that is reminiscent of the panel grids we often associate with Watchmen, which I feel Jeff Jones is trying to evoke here, as he did work on that series as well, if I remember the new Watchmen title, the Doomsday Clock one. So I feel this is probably linked to that in a way. And this probably the reason why it was delayed as it was too, was so that this one had come out even further away from when Doomsday Clock finally wrapped. So, but it looks great. And then every book you bought here came with one of these retail incentive cards that matched the back of the comic. And I would imagine each of the subsequent issues too, you'll see Joker with the other character here. I think number 2 is Joker with Batgirl, and then 3 is Joker with Red Hood, I believe. I could be wrong, but I think that's the main A and B covers for that. So at this point, I've just got I've got some trades I've picked up, and a few other collectibles, and of course that GRAIL signature to show off, so stick around for that. And before we look at those, I want to talk about this. This was something I kickstarted that I was actually surprised came today. I wasn't expecting this still for several months, so some of you might know the Colors art app that's been on like the PS Vita. I think it's been on a few other game systems as well, but that's what I knew it from in the past. But the Kickstarter was for Colors on the Nintendo Switch, and so we download like the copy of the app or whatever, but in order for it to work right, you need a stylus. And since the Switch doesn't have Bluetooth mode or anything, they had to design this stylus specifically to work with the Switch app that they're working on. So that is what this is. And you could choose your color. I chose blue because that's my favorite color. So yeah, this is wired. You plug this in to your Switch, which seems kind of backwards in the tech age we're in, but the Switch unfortunately wasn't equipped with that. So they had to formulate this as a solution. And then even like I noticed the nib on it's weird too, because it's not even a typical nib you would see. So it's got like this pressure sensitive little disc on the nib, and they've got a replacement one in here too. I'm not sure how long they'll last on there. You should just be able to swap it out. But yeah, some elements that you don't typically see in a stylus that they just kind of had to work around with the whole uniqueness of the Nintendo Switch. But I'm glad I got it, and I look forward to having some fun doing some drawing on my Switch. And we'll see if I can't get a video out of that too. But I feel like I'll have to play with it around a bit before we're at that stage of, me confidently showcasing my abilities on it. Because I know even when I had the one on the Vita, I didn't do a lot with it, but it's just nice to have the option, So one more way to create. My older son is really excited though. I'm just wrapping the cord back in there. And now it's back in there. So, and then it came with a little pouch too. But I don't particularly care for this. It's like really rigid. It's almost like a bookmark, and you slide the thing in there. So alright, we've put that off to the side. So now I've gotten a few trades here. The first one was actually one of the first trades I ever bought. I bought this before I started to buy Cap ongoing monthly, but it was by the same creative team when they did do the Heroes Return line. So this was Mark Waid with Ron Garney. And Ron Garney is the artist who's working on the new Keanu Reeves Berserker book that's coming out. Big news with that on Kickstarter. I did back that. They're collecting the floppies into 3 trades. So I'm getting that over the course of like 2.5 years later down the line. But yeah, this, I just have a lot of nostalgia for this here. This was the first time I had really seen like Cap go toe-to-toe with Skull, with the Red Skull here in like the modern age. This was around 96, I believe. Let's see. Okay, yeah, so 95, 96 was when the issues were printed there, looking at the copyright. And Ron Garney's style has definitely evolved since this. But even now, still looking at it, I appreciate, the level of like kinetic movement he's able to convey, elements that are simplistic in nature but yet become detailed. I think we got Bill Clinton there. Nice little 90s nod. But yeah, even when I saw this, like To me, I don't know, it felt like it could have just been its own thing, and even when I read it, I didn't really fit it into the fact that it was, just a few issues that were collected. Like, I don't ever recall seeing the single issues on any store shelves or anything. So when I saw this book, I was just like, whoa, when did this come out? And, this looks so cool. And I was really impressed with how it was colored. This was around the time when they were really trying to innovate with computer coloring. And so I would just stare and look at these books for hours, even with the Hero's Return, Cap in Japan and all that. Same creative team across the board, so I would just, look at this and just be so impressed. So we got that. And then this was something that was just a nice surprise. So this is when IDW had done a spotlight on Funko Pops with different comic series that IDW had at the time. I don't think they still have all these. I don't recall seeing Strawberry Shortcake. Everything else here they still have, though, I believe. And I bought the Turtles one when it came out because I was always just buying Turtles anyway, but I wasn't huge into Pops yet when I got it, so I got it with the sole purpose of just, it's another Ninja Turtles book. But this collects all of the stories that I missed. So, and I might even do future readings of all these little things because they're kind of obscure and people do like their Funko stuff, so this is kind of a unique experience. So you'll see like a series of covers, and then we have like the interior art here. And the elements, they try to mimic like the regular comics as best as they can, only people are, obviously in pop form. So like the glow that you see on the ghost, that's the same as in the regular ongoing Ghostbusters book. There's I guess this is the variant cover here. And then there's the Turtles one. And I actually got mine signed by the Funko CEO. I actually should have grabbed it before I sat down, but it's too late now, obviously. And I actually have this cover too, so I have this signed by Brian Mariotti. And then there's the X-Files one. I don't know if I've ever even seen the X-Files Pops before. Here's their variant cover, the gray man alien here. And then the Strawberry Shortcake, which this is weirdly actually like the most artistic I feel out of all, when we have more of a painted style on this than the others, which I'm not sure about the regular series for it at the time. And there's the alternative cover there. And then we see Judge Dredd. On his bike there, that's so fun. And there is the variant cover there. And then there's some others. I think these are maybe convention covers based upon that. And there's a few more here. Couple X-Files ones. Another Turtles one. This kind of evokes like the cereal box a little bit to me. I know it's not, but there's Strawberry Shortcake. Couple Judge Dredd's there. Some concept art. And that's the end of that one. My final trade that I got, they just released Silver Surfer and Fortnite, and they have all the Galactus event stuff going on coming up soon on the show, or game rather, and so my middle kid loves Fortnite, and we've been buying the skins, and he's been asking about Galactus and Silver Surfer, so I was like, well, you know what? Best way to answer those questions you have about those characters is to have you read the comics where they first appeared in. So I was able to pick up this is, I guess, volume 3 maybe for the Epic collections. It's weird because like they don't come out in order, but they are still numbered like they have an order. Yeah, this is volume 3. But they come at a different time period, so they can kind of show different eras of Marvel Comics. So, and I'll probably end up reading the issues with them since it's kind of a focal point now with Fortnite and all that, which, you know, it's never too late to read some classic Kirby Stan Lee stuff on the channel here. So, but so this collects way more than that, but that's the main reason I picked it up. And so that's towards the end here. As you can see here. And I think this is actually a touch bit earlier. Yeah, so right there, and then we see Galactus with his alternative costume before they switched him to purple in this one. There's the Galactus one. And then it ends with one of Stan Lee's favorite stories he wrote of all time here. This man, this monster. That's focused on the Thing. Everyone knows this opening splash page with the rain here. Great iconic image there for sure. So I'm glad to have this. And these run $40, which get you quite a few comics here. So like 20 or so books collected. And like the omnibus and stuff for these are usually a lot more expensive, so it's good that they're putting these out and, you know, meeting that demand. I'd like to see, you know, the full lines put all out at once, but I guess that's not marketably feasible. Few more items here, and then you'll have the big element here, or actually one more item and then the main one. So I was able to get, and this is for my middle kid as well here, so this is the Absolute Carnage Funko Pop there. This is the, you can only get this at your comic shop here, the preview sticker on there. I already took it out of like the plastic, so it wouldn't be as noisy. But here's the pop here, and this thing is incredibly detailed. This is a prestige formatted one, since it's got the base and everything like that. And you can see on the base we have different names here. Rogers for Steve Rogers, Logan. He's sitting on Eddie Brock's grave, and then we have Peter Parker. So really detailed. You see the skulls here, and just really great work. So this one runs for $30. Standard pop is usually 10 to 15, but I couldn't pass this up. And my kid loves Spider-Man, so of course he has to have the ultimate version of one of Spider-Man's sickest foes. And then the inside of the box says, "You know my name, now scream it." So, and then it's got the red sky backdrop there from the cover as well. So, I do believe this is our final item here. So we have the Jack Kirby collection pin set. And I believe these ones are brass here, and this one is actual silver maybe. If you pull them off the backs here, this one is totally silver, and then these ones have like kind of a brown or goldish color on the back. So a cool set in themselves, but the main reason I got it, right here, Jack Kirby signed these. So there are very few items that are, I don't know, a lot of people have like the signed books and stuff that he did, but a lot of those don't have certificates and stuff here. So this was signed and numbered. This is number 481 of 2,500. And we see his signature here. And as a lot of you, or you might not know, Jack Kirby would usually sign the inside front page of a comic. And as we all know, old comics, newsprint is not super conducive to writing of any kind, really. So a lot of people who have his signature have either a faded one or it's kind of bled through because, it's newsprint paper. So this signature is on this nice quality paper here with the Silver Surfer image. And it's in this nice case too. So it's going to hold up, and it is numbered and all that. So it's the real deal. This is, an official item that came out that people know about. And I actually got this for under $100. You can find it on eBay, usually around $250, if not a little bit higher. But of course, you guys know I love Jack Kirby. I've always wanted a signature. Usually his signature on like a poster he's done or a comic usually fetches around $400 or so. So to be able to get this incredible item, this unique item, granted it's not a comic, but I can display this piece like this. You can visibly see it, not have to say, oh, it's, he signed this issue of Captain America. You have to pull it out of the bag to see the signature and all that. I can just display this like this. I'm just so happy I have this. And when I got it, it had like the Golden Apple comic stickers on it, so I peeled off a part of the like shrink wrap by accident. So I was just like, all right, well, let's just take the whole thing off. So when I did, I did not realize that this was like a little leaflet about Kirby as well. So this was a nice little surprise too. So it just kind of goes, it's a very brief history of Jack Kirby's work, obviously. So, but still cool regardless, like I said, just kind of a nice little bonus surprise. So, glad I have this. Never thought I would have this. I believe these came out in 91 or 92, and he passed shortly thereafter, a few years later, so. And his signature still looks great, even if he sat down and did, 2,000 of these or whatever. Like, it looks good, so I'm really impressed by the quality of it, so. And I guess I can get a better look at these here for you all. I'm not going to peel them off the thing, but. And then this is like a marbled paper too, so. And then the back, see, you can see. So this one, at first I thought that these were like oxidized, but no, they're all the way, like you can see. If I angle it, you can see how it's like colored on the back of him. So at first I was like, are they rusted? But no, they're not. That's just, whatever color the metal is. So, but I'm so happy I have these in there. So very nice. So, if you want one of your own, look on eBay. I just lucked out. I found one, a little cheaper. And, of course, my wife was thankful for that. But I've got, I would say, mostly everyone's signature that I want. There's only a few more on my list, really. So I'm just glad I finally own Jack Kirby's signature, my favorite artist. So I'm glad I have it. I'm glad I got to share it with you all. So that's going to do it for now. As always, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you want to see down below. Share this thing out. Help me grow it. Once we hit 2,000, we're going to do a signed book giveaway. I don't know which comic, but I have quite a few signed books. If we get to 5,000, we'll do a signed bundle of comics. But, yeah, just help me continue to spread the word. We're coming up on the 3rd year anniversary of the channel at the end of September. You guys have a super slumber. Thanks. Bye.